So taking a look at Google Classroom's new annotation feature, there's a lot of good stuff with it, but there's also things you have to be careful of that doesn't cause confusion for students. So let's say I go into my College Prep 11 Honors class I have with Mr. Pergo, and I'm going to scroll on down here. I've got a lot of work that I got to do in the class. I'm going to go on down until I get to the Huck Finn controversy. And when I go ahead and tap and open that up, you can see I have my document here. I'm going to tap to open up the Google document. And this is a change from Google Classroom. It used to be if it was a Google Doc and you had your own copy, it would automatically open up into Docs. Okay, it does not do that anymore. Now I come to this view where I can select between two different modes. I can select the pen to annotate and to digitally write on this document. When I do that, it'll change the file. It'll give me a PDF version of the file to save everything I write, so it will not work like a Google document does. If I want to be able to, in this document, type my information here like I used to do before, I have to tap on this icon in the top right corner, and when I do that, it'll then open up the document into Google Docs like we're used to seeing. I can go down here, get in my document. If I tap on the pencil, I can go ahead and bring up my editing mode so that I can go in here and I can start to type away and work on my document. Alright. Now I'm going to go back into Classroom. Let's say that I didn't do that. I go back into the assignment, and instead I tap on the pen for the annotation mode. Okay, so what's going to happen is my document kind of shrinks down, so I can kind of do my thing where I pinch my fingers apart to expand the document so I can see it a little bit better. And you'll see down here at the bottom I have these annotation tools. Now I accidentally wrote on there, so I'm going to go ahead and tap on the eraser, get rid of that. And I can now use the pen, and if I tap and hold I bring up extra choices. I like to select different colors and the thickness of the line, that type of thing. So I can bring up the pen if I wanted to underline some things. Maybe I see that, I want a little bit of a thicker line, so I'm going to tap and hold again and select the next dot over so that then when I circle things it looks a little clearer for me. I also do have a highlighter, or actually that's a marker right there, and then I have a highlighter where I can pick the different highlights that I want. I'll go with the yellow there, and I can go through and highlight on the text. I do also have a feature here where I can basically add in text boxes that it can appear in there. Now, one part to be very careful of. If you look up here in the top right hand corner, you're going to see here we've got that archaic symbol that looks like a floppy disk to save. Students must save. They have to tap on that icon to save those annotations. If all I do is just go out, if I tap right here, I'm going to get a message that says discard changes, your edits will be lost. If what happens, like most of the time, students don't even read the warning and they just go ahead and tap on discard to get back out, my annotations are gone. Anything that I'd saved in there as I was annotating away is finished. Okay, it's kaput. But now once I go back in here and let's say I decide to do some annotations, I write some stuff in there. Once I go ahead and tap save, you'll see that on my Google Classroom part for the assignment I now have two files. My file that had the original Google Doc, and then this one right here that's the PDF that has the annotations that I did. If I go back into those annotations, I will be able to add more to it. If I tap on the pen, I can add more things, but if I go to the eraser tool now, I cannot erase what I already have. That is now there. It's kind of like a permanent addition to the document. Now if I add more things and I decide to go ahead and put like the number 5 underneath there, that I can go back and erase since it was just from within this session. But I'm not going to be able to erase anything else that I had previously. I do a save, it'll resave it. Now when it resaves it, it does always keep it as just one particular document. Now in terms of for the teacher side of things, the way that this can be helpful, I'm going to switch on over to a class where I am the teacher in. So I'm going to go into this Pilot Folks one. And I'm going to go in this assignment that I had called Test Run. And I open up the documents. I go over to Student Work. Once I get into Student Work, I can see who's been finished. And let's say I go into Doug's. So I go into Doug's, I open it up. That's going to show his assignment. And what I could do as the teacher is I can say, all right, I'm going to go ahead and annotate. I'm going to expand this so I can read it a little bit better. And then what I can do is kind of use this to simulate if I was working with paper and pencil. So I can write comments back. I go ahead and save it. So now when my student would go in there, they're going to get not only their copy of the document, but then a PDF that kind of has my annotations for them. So that can be a useful tool for you as the teacher.